There comes a time in many lives when we are faced with impossible questions. Moments when the heart is heavy with grief, confusion, and longing. One such question was brought to the beloved teacher Thich Nhat Hanh and his community, the Sangha, from a listener who shared the suffering of a close friend. Her husband, struggling with a mood disorder, had been repeatedly unfaithful. He refused treatment, and his actions left her heart torn between love and pain, hope and despair. She stood at a crossroads, unsure of whether to stay and endure, to leave and heal, or to find some kind of peace and acceptance. It is in these quiet, aching places that Thich Nhat Hanh, known affectionately as Thay, offers a kind of guidance that neither judges nor prescribes. Instead, it gently invites us to look more deeply. Rather than labeling the husband simply as a betrayer, Thay begins by reframing the situation altogether. He speaks not only of betrayal, but of faithfulness, of how, within each of us, both seeds exist. Like everything in nature, we are made up of many seeds. Seeds of anger and calm. Seeds of joy and sorrow. Seeds of betrayal, yes, but also of loyalty, care, and tenderness. And those seeds are always being watered by our environment, our choices, our relationships. So the real question becomes, which seed are we watering? Thay reminds us that, as partners, we participate in this cultivation. Through the way we speak, listen, act, and simply are, we influence which seeds grow in those around us. If we water the seed of faithfulness in our loved one, day by day, with mindfulness and compassion, it has the chance to bloom. But if we, consciously or not, feed seeds of fear, resentment, or neglect, then the seeds of suffering may take root instead. He gives us a metaphor, as he so often does, something simple and living. Imagine a linden tree. Calm, fresh, and strong. It doesn't speak, but simply by its presence, it offers shade, serenity, and ease. People are drawn to sit beneath it. In the same way, when we cultivate peace within ourselves, our presence alone becomes a teaching, not through lectures or demands, but through the quiet power of being. But this is not easy. Thay never claims it is. When we are faced with ongoing suffering, betrayal, or disconnection, maintaining our own inner peace can feel nearly impossible. And this is why, he says, no practitioner can walk alone. We need a Sangha, a community of mindfulness, of compassion, of refuge. It may be a formal spiritual group, or it may simply be a circle of friends, a space of safety where we are reminded of our own strength and gentleness. When our personal reservoir of patience runs dry, we lean into the support of others. The Sangha nourishes what we can't always nourish alone. Thay reflects gently on the husband in this story. He sees a man who is deeply suffering, a man who doesn't yet see a path out of his pain. And he turns to the friend, the listener's friend, who does see the path, who practices mindfulness, who wants to help. Her desire is noble. Her heart, clearly full of compassion. But still, the change she longs for hasn't come. Thay wonders aloud. Perhaps her way of sharing the path hasn't yet been skillful enough. Perhaps it hasn't been fresh enough. The way we communicate the Dharma, the path of awakening, matters just as much as the message itself. If it's delivered with blame, or weariness, or frustration, it may close a door rather than open one. So he calls on her to become a true bodhisattva, a being of compassion, to return, again and again, to the qualities of patience, loving-kindness, and resilience. Not from obligation, but from her own well of strength. Not from guilt, but from clarity and freedom. He offers the image of Mother Earth. No matter how we treat her, she continues to offer herself. She receives the rains and the sunshine. She transforms even garbage into flowers. She is the ultimate symbol of patience, of transformation. And just like the earth, we too can cultivate that capacity. But only if we tend to our own healing first. This is where Thay's message becomes especially clear. Before you can save another, you must first come home to yourself. Take care of your own heart. Reconnect with your breath, your body, your practice. Do what you must to nourish your joy, your peace, your stability. because it is from that grounded place that you can truly help someone else. You don't need to sacrifice your well-being to prove your love. True compassion includes you too. He reminds us of the Buddha's teaching. You cannot love another if you do not love yourself. Not truly. Not in a way that heals. So the first step in helping a loved one who is suffering is to return to yourself. Strengthen your roots. Water the seeds of compassion, not only for them, but for you. And if the time comes when staying only causes further harm, then leaving may not be a failure, but an act of deep wisdom. Sometimes, stepping back is what gives the other person space to see, to grow, to awaken. And it is only from a place of inner stability that such a decision can be made with peace. In the end, Thay's guidance doesn't offer a simple answer to the listener's question, because no such answer exists. What he offers instead is a map. A reminder that healing begins within, that transformation is possible, and that love, when rooted in mindfulness, can be both tender and strong. So if you find yourself at a crossroads, holding the weight of a loved one's suffering alongside your own, remember, you are not alone. You can return to your breath. You can nourish your strength. You can reach out to others who walk this path. And in doing so, you create the conditions for healing, for yourself, for your loved one, and for the world.